What up, people? What's good? Salute.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Salute to the tribe. We're hip hop and comics and hip hop. We're a niche channel. We're a niche channel. And reserved for the best is super dope. I do sell comics. Check me out on Instagram at 6th_element_comics. Yeah, because comic books are the sixth element of hip hop. What's good, y'all? Sixth element of hip hop. I'm your host, Reno Noir, just finishing. Well, no, I ain't finished. I ain't gonna lie. I just started eating my dinner. What up, Stu Dog? What's happening, man?
What up?
Sixth element of hip hop, guys. Normally, this is our DC Power Hour, where we talk about DC comics and, you know, anything DC related, films, whatnot. Unfortunately, on Wednesday, on our normal Woo Wars Wednesday, we talk about Star Wars, and we was going to go deep dive. We're going to really get into Star Wars because it's a lot to get into. A whole lot is going on with Star Wars. Some of it is phenomenal, and I'm fucking so excited about, and some of it is nauseating. So we're gonna get into all of that, but we gotta get in deep to it. Slade, what's good? But it is DC, you know, it is DC Power Hour, so we are going to talk some DC shit and some cool DC shit going on with the horror event that's coming up, the Night Terrors. That looks just amazing, and I'm gonna share that with you guys. There we go. And basically, you know, get into, you know what, because there is so much going on with Star Wars right now, and you know what I'm saying, Stu, a lot. You know, let's get the DC powers. Let's talk about the DC stuff first, because I'm telling you guys, when we get into the Star Wars stuff, I'm going in. We're going deep because there's too much to get into. But yeah, so this DC horror event called Night Terrors. Night with the K, like, you know, like the Dark Knight, right? And it's Night Terrors. And it's since the days of death, and with DC's, they created this Night Terror story for DC Comics, and I'm reading as I'm talking, man, so I'm trying to, but basically Night Terrors is a mini series, okay, that is Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and they find the body of their earliest enemies at the Hall of Justice, the body of one of their like earlier foes, right? And the investigation, you know, it takes them past the land of the living, beyond the land of the dead, and into the realm of nightmares. So the only way to save the world is to call for the help of an unlikely hero, Deadman, who ironically Stu just showed off his action figure that he just got, the Deadman figure, recently, Stu. And so this is dope because I love horror comics. And you know, it's been dope reading some of the DC vampire stuff that they do, and the zombie stuff with Marvel, and just a lot of cool horror stuff. But this Joshua Williamson said that Dawn of bringing the energy from Dawn of DC, Night Terrors is going to showcase the horror side of our heroes as a brand new villain confronts them with their worst nightmares. He said it's a fun and horrific event that brings together all of the heroes and villains of DC, along with some surprises. He said the horror focused event will take over the DC publishing line in July and August, and will feature multiple 2-issue miniseries from superstar creative teams yet to be announced of writer and artist. Each of the miniseries will feature a DC superhero or supervillain confronting their worst nightmares in a nightmare realm, and the superheroes, better be careful, as whatever happens to them in the nightmare realm will be reflected, what I'm saying, in the waking world. And the terminology, right? Waking world, nightmare realm. We know that Sandman is a part of DC, Elseworlds, and things like that. So this is, what I'm saying, you might get some correlations there, man, with Dead Man and Sandman and that whole dark DC. You know what I'm saying? Dark whatever that they have.
So well, it's a one shot. So it's just two books, one shots. The first book will be Dead Man. It'll introduce the whole thing, and the second will
Mhm,
be your boy Sandman. He'll team up with Batman and Dead Man
mhm.
to uncover the whole thing of what's going on, and what's haunting the whole DC universe. And the new villain, I think, is Insomnia. His name is. I was just reading
Yeah.
the comic shop news earlier this week. I can't
Think
wait
about
for it.
like 8 or 9 2-issue miniseries, right? 8 or 9 2-issue little miniseries is what's going to be
Right.
this whole event.
Yeah, but it's two
And
parts. It's in two parts. So it's part one and
no,
part two.
each character has a 2 comic miniseries. So Batman will have a 2 comic miniseries, Superman will have a 2 comic miniseries, Wonder Woman has 2 comic miniseries, Green Lantern, Flash. Check out some of this art, bro. I'm gonna this shit's gonna blow your wig. Look at this. Let me just. I had a bunch of these images, but I'm just gonna share the screen because this is gonna take too long to bring over each image and blah 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 blah. So it won't be quite as big, but you'll get an idea. So there's, yeah. Well, that's a couple. So this is a couple of the Batman images.
Oh, those are the crossovers then. Because I know it's supposed to be a 4 issue miniseries. So I think those you might be talking about the crossovers with Green Lantern.
No,
Because
no, this is Night Terrors. It's a series called Night Terrors. And it's coming this summer. It's coming out in August. And this is DC's site. They said following yesterday's reveal of the kind of nightmares that only could only haunt a supervillain, today's DC is unveiling the night terrors facing Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, the Titans, and more this summer. Dawn of DC horror focused event will take over the publishing line in July and August with a 2-issue miniseries that will each feature a DC superhero or supervillain confronting their worst nightmares in the nightmare realm. Ever since becoming Batman, Bruce Wayne has been a creature of the night. But now, trapped in the nightmare realm, Bruce is stalked by the horror he's created. Can he escape before his own nightmares pull him deeper into darkness? Available July 4th, Night Terror's Batman #1 is written by Joshua Williamson, with art by Guillaume Marc, who did the Joker. He said the issue will feature backup art by David LaFonte, open to order variants by Francisco Matina and Puppeteer Lee variants. And then here's some of the cool Wonder Woman covers right here. This is Night Terrors. So Wonder Woman will have her own feature. It says, after investigating alarming intrusion on the now defunct Hall of Justice, Wonder Woman and her unexpected new ally, Detective Chimp, suddenly find themselves in a world where their worst nightmares come to life. Who could possibly defeat these things that go up in the night? The Justice League Dark. The Amazon princess reunites with her old team to save the world from the sweet dream turned into beautiful nightmare. Plus, Queen Nubia finds herself trapped in the Well of Souls. Night Terror's Wonder Woman #1 is written by Josie Campbell and Stephanie Williams with art by Juan Ferreira. You know what this reminds me of, Stu? Remember when they did the villains? It was something, the villains, something, and then there was each one had the, is such and such penguin, such and such
oh yeah,
Joker.
yeah. The one
Um,
shots, the Batman one
yeah,
shots.
yeah, it
One
was
bad
called
day.
Villain. Yeah, One Bad Day. Yeah, no, before One Bad Day, it was it's called Villain,
I remember the
something
villain.
villain.
I
Yeah,
remember the villain ones. I have them. I have all of those.
these are great. This is Superman.
That's when they did the new DC 52, and they just came out with all. Yeah, I have those
Wonder if we
variants.
can blow these up.
The
Yeah,
covers are dope. The covers are
these are
dope.
sick,
These
bro.
things that I
This is
saw.
crazy. This says Clark Kent knows why he's been pulled into the nightmare. Oh, yeah, Clark Kent knows why he's been pulled into the nightmare realm and goes in search of his family and friends. But that journey takes him to the haunted nightly planet. Get it? Daily planet, nightly planet, where he is confronted by the Super Reaper. In the waking world, Superman was mid-fight when he was hit by the nightmare wave, and where he crash lands will surprise you. Superman series writer Joshua Williamson again and artist Tom Riley bring you Night Terror's Superman #1, and this issue will be available in comic shops in July 18th. So this will be so that's Night Terror's Batman #1, and there'll be a Nightmare's Batman #2, and then there was a Nightmare's Wonder Woman #1, and there'll be a #2. This is the Superman, and check out some of these Cyborg.
That Hank Henshaw one right there, that's dope. I seen that in comic shop news. I want that one. The Superman
Gorgeous.
covers were the best ones I've seen. I don't know who
Wait,
drew
wait, wait,
those.
wait till you see some of these. Oh, I'm just gonna skip. I'm just gonna skip. Well, it's this one's about Power Girl, herself and the Super Twins, being hunted by Cyborg Superman in Night Terror's Action Comics #1, and so that's gonna be a dope. With a bunch of these sort of lesser known DC characters and stuff like that bringing in. But check these motherfuckers out. This shit right here is crazy, bro. It's something.
Yeah, those are phenomenal. I like that.
Mind blowing,
I like
dog.
the
I don't
black and
even
white joint
know
right there. That's
that I'm saying, dog. I wish I could blow some of these up for you guys to make them a little bigger, but it's DC's website. I mean, you can see this on DC.com. And this is writer Dan Waters, sort of Azrael, and artist Riccardo Federici team up for Night Terror's Detective Comics #1. So that's what this is. It says Jim Gordon stumbles upon a sacred ritual held by 3 disciples chanting around an enchanted clock. And one of them is wearing the robotic bat suit that Jim donned many years ago as Batman. Except this metal suit seems to have been soldiered directly or soldered directly into the flesh of the wearer. What do these creatures want with Gotham, and why are they targeting Jim's daughter Babs too? And this has to be a dream, right? The first issue will be available at local comic shops July 25th with a main cover by Federici, open to order variants. So there's a bunch of variants by a bunch of great artists I'm seeing down here, but that's Detective Comics one, and then this is the Nightwing one. Oh, these are great too. Check out some of these Nightwing joints, bro.
yeah, those are dope. I would love to have one of those. That's
Yeah, bro.
phenomenal.
We're definitely gonna cop these. This says Night Terrors Nightwing #1 coming out July 18th. It says Dick wakes up in jail to realize a nightmare has come to life. He murdered someone he loves, and the only thing making it worse, his past coming to haunt him in the form of humanoid pigs playing the characters of his childhood at Haley's Circus, scene by scene, leading up to the night of his parents' death. The Batgirls try to help Nightwing figure out who framed him or why he killed someone, but his cellmates and other unlikely villains in jail who may help him solve the mystery. Night Terror's Nightwing #1 features a main cover by man. These are real nightmares. Like having that nightmare where you I don't know if you've ever I've had nightmares where I had to kill somebody and now I'm gonna go to prison for life. It's crazy. Like these are weird nightmares. Like all of these are real nightmares that are pretty common, shit that people have. This is cool. This is the Red Hood. This is Robin. And these are dope, dog. Look at these.
Yeah, those are dope.
Nightmare inducing, right? That's really cool. So again, I wish I could blow these up, but definitely go on the site and check these out. These are gonna be dope this summer. It says Dick Grayson isn't the only Robin in the nightmare realm. Writer Kenny Porter, Jason Todd, and Tim Drake must fight their own worst fears and each other's as they're forced to relive the darkest moments of their lives in Night Terror's Robin #1. That comes out July 11th. And what is this one? Is Teen Titans. So these are Teen Titans. That's Beast Boy right there. I was wondering what that was. There's the Teen Titans. There's Raven. That one's pretty cool. Oh, that's dope right there with Stargirl.
That's super dope.
Oh wow, these little pink pods, they're you can't probably see from on YouTube, but they're like clones inside the pods. I can see Nightwing is in one of these. So that's pretty cool. Raven and shit. But after plummeting into the nightmare realm, the remaining members of Teen Titans come to the Titans come to face to face with the fever dream turned reality. The Terror Titans in Night Terrors Teen Titans #1, and that one comes out July 25th. These warped versions of our heroes are prepared to do anything to become the next Justice League, even kill. Wow. Ooh, Flash. These are sick. Oh, that's dope. Uh,
That's super dope. The Flash was that's hot right there.
yeah. It says after the Flash family freed Barry Allen from the dimension Pariah locked him up in, the Scarlet Speedster was able to return home for some quality time with Iris and other loved ones. But when the world is plunged in the nightmare realm, Barry's trapped in a different cage. He'll have to find a way out of his own night in Night Terrors, The Flash #1. There's Shazam. Oh, this is the female Shazam. I'm not sure what.
It's Miss Marvel, Mary Marvel.
Okay.
That should be an interesting one right there. That Shazam one.
Uh,
That I definitely want to read.
that says, when the nightmare wave struck, the entire Shazamily was plunged into a terrifying landscape of their own fears. Though no fears ran deeper than those of Mary Marvel, haunted by a twisted version of her heroic brother, Teth Shazam. Nightmare Terror Shazam #1 from Mark Waid, July 11th. That's gonna be dope. The Green Lantern ones look amazing.
Now those look now. They always do a good job with Green Lantern for some reason.
You
I would
know,
get every cover they make. Yeah, that was
all of these.
they dope. Yeah, all of them are dope. They always
Uh,
do a good job for some reason. I don't know who or why, but when they do Green Lantern covers and they really put they hard into it, they come out great, bro. I don't know if it's the color scheme. I don't know what it is, but it just come out great.
mm-hmm. It says, something is wrong in sector 2814, and Hal Jordan, Kilowog, and other lanterns must find the mysterious disturbance. Despite a ban on any of Earth's Green Lanterns leaving their world, and Sinestro find themselves at the heart of it in Night Terror's Green Lantern #1. What they discover is a planet controlled by a familiar face, the house of the face of Hal's greatest fear. And in a backup story, Sinestro finds himself thrust into a new reality that drags him into the darkest corners of his past and perhaps his future. Night Terror's Green Lantern #1 is coming out in July 11th. And they're making a Zatanna one for some reason. Night Terror Zatanna #1. I guess she's popular. I guess people like Zatanna. I don't know.
Yeah. She's actually a league member. They just not a very talked about one.
Yeah.
So going through this now, looking like they're doing a whole Justice League just about.
Mm-hmm.
She was actually one of the original league members, but they just don't give her props.
Yeah.
What was that?
And this is gonna be
Deathstroke's daughter.
Deathstroke's daughter, Rose, I think. Ravager is her name.
See now, DC will do. They're gonna do the heroes, and then I guarantee they'll do villains because they're gonna squeeze
Mhm.
every penny out of you, especially if they're good.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's some Joker ones. Let's see. It says Ravager is separated from Stormwatch and trapped in a nightmare world to protect himself from being corrupted by murder. The Murder Man and his blood crazed Slaughter Squadron Night Terrors Ravager #1. Blah blah blah. Fans get a preview of what's to come in Night Terrors on Free Comic Book Day, May 6th. That's coming up very soon with the Dawn of DC Night Terrors Free Comic Book Day special edition. So I will definitely be trying to cop me one of those. for free. And after a long night of crime fighting his father, Batman Damian sleeps, but horrors invade his teenage dreams. Damian has seen a lot, but there's something different about this nightmare. So that'll be dope. The free comic book day Damian Wayne joint. Um, it just looks really cool. It just really does. I can't wait to check this shit out. It looks mad deep. We've got a couple of oh yeah. Oh yeah. Peep these out.
That's it.
That is the First Blood #1. Night Terrors, First Blood. Some of these are crazy cool looking, dude. Let's see, dude. This is nuts. This says kicking off the line wide event is an oversized special of Night Terrors First Blood #1. When Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and the body of one of their earliest enemies inside the Hall of Justice, their investigation takes them past the land of the living, beyond the land of the dead, directly into a new villain called Insomnia, who uses his powers to engulf every single hero and villain in their own dark, twisted nightmares. The only way to save the world is call the help of the unlikely hero, Deadman. And so this looks like some actual artwork from inside the comic. You probably can't see, unfortunately. I apologize. Again, go to the DC.com website for these. This is Night Terrors First Blood #1. Will come out July 4th. And these are some Deadman covers right here, Stu. This is Night Terrors #1. Just Night Terrors.
Yeah, that Deadman joint look nice. That's a
I like
dope one
this.
too. That black and white
Yeah.
one. That one's dope. Yeah.
Yeah, that classic one is cool too. Yeah, these are really cool. I mean, dude, the artwork is stunning on these. I can't wait for this whole thing. I'm trying to get all these covers. This says the main Night Terror story will take place over 4 issues, written by Williamson with art by Giuseppe, in which Boston Brand, aka Deadman, serves as the supernatural tour guide following the events of Night Terror's First Blood #1. Everyone in the world is trapped inside their nightmares. Batman and Deadman are trying to figure out who Insomnia really is and why he wants revenge on the heroes of the DC universe. Night Terrors #1 comes out July 11th. And these are some. Oh, I love that. I remember that's when Joker killed Robin. And so, but that's like a remake to that. That's the Night Terrors. This is Night Terrors #2. So it says fans won't have to wait long for the adventures to continue as Night Terrors #2 hit stands on July 25th. What? So the first #1 comes out July 11th, and #2 comes out just like 14 days later. It's like 2 weeks later.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, DC don't mess around. Yeah, they don't mess around. They're not
no. Yeah,
I love Marvel, but they'll start and then they'll stop, and then something to come up, and then you wait another year or 6 months.
No, it's just monthly. It's just monthly. But they do have bi-monthly.
Remember when they did Hulk versus Wolverine the second time, and then they started it. It started off good, and then right when they got to where he found Hulk, we didn't get nothing for like months. Like it was like a good 4 months before they just stopped it. Like nobody knew what happened. They just stopped it. And then 4 months later, they picked up where the story left off, and people was pissed. I know I was pissed.
Yeah,
I wanted that.
That's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it can happen. That's for sure. Oh, this is the Joker one. And I do
cover right there.
I have a cover made by this artist. Who is this artist? I forget his name, but he has a dope style. Night Terrors the Joker. That's definitely, Joker is definitely one of my favorite, villains of all time across any medium. It says when you're the clown prince of crime, What kind of nightmare do you have? Working a 9 to 5 office job? How will the Joker handle meetings that could have been emails? Why did management cancel Bring Your Child to Work Day? Who will want to make small talk at the coffee machine? What is Alexis going to pick up for lunch? And who is the masked madman terrorizing Gotham at night? Yeah, that's a nightmare right there. Night Terrors, the Joker, #1, comes out July 4th. And then yeah, bro, you're right. They got here's Poison Ivy. They got Night Terrors, here's Catwoman.
I told you. I told you they had to do villains. They got to do the villains. They got to knock them off.
Harley Quinn.
Yep.
And I love the Black Adam ones. These are great. He's like tearing his skull out of his skeleton out of his skin. That's cool.
That Black Adam, that's a Man of Steel homage right there.
Mm-hmm.
Superman Unchained. Right there, Black Adam.
With the chains busting off.
Yeah.
Black Adam is defending Kandak from a border assault when the deadly nightmare wave sweeps the planet, putting all people into the nightmare realm. But what are his deepest, darkest nightmares? What horror can put fear into the heart of Black Adam? Night Terrors, Black Adam #1. That's a good question. Written and drawn by Jeremy Juan from did Constantine. Who is this? Who is this chick? Oh, that's Angel Breaker.
I'm trying to see.
Yeah, deep in an abandoned Cobra safe house is a device able to access the dream powers of John D, aka Dr. Destiny. As heroes across the world succumb to nightmares, Angel Breaker wants it. Now, to infiltrate the Hall of Horrors, she'll need the help of a professional thief, the man known as Raptor. But Angel Breaker and Raptor aren't exactly friends. Can the mysterious Merc trust a man who feels nothing but grudges as the strange pair encounter a horror as old as the Coda Sisterhood and even more dangerous? Yeah, I don't know anything about the Angel Breaker Raptor Sisterhood world, Dr. Destiny, but the writer Tim Seeley did Superman versus Lobo, which was cool, and the artist Aki Bright did DC versus Vampires, which was great. So it could be really good. That comes out Angel Breaker on July 25th, and that's Punchline.
It's gotten very popular.
Yeah, very popular. I don't know why because I haven't read it, but they like her more than Harley. Alexis K, aka Punchline, has no fears, or she'd have you believe they will be pried out of her in the nightmare world where she's being hunted, and she'll be forced to face her deepest, darkest nightmare in a true horror movie fashion. Terrors, Punchline #1, July 18th. Yeah, these are this will be a really cool event, and it's definitely something dope that DC's got going on right now. And I wanted to make sure that we covered something cool and something DC. And there, because again, when we get into Star Wars, there's a lot going on, but there's a lot of cool shit going on with DC too. I mean, the Penguin, that new show, the Penguin, the trailer looks amazing. You saw the trailer, right?
Penguin looks good. Looks really interesting. Yeah. Just hoping it lives up to the hype of the trailer.
Yeah. Yeah. It says the Penguin is looking to make a name for himself on the streets of Gotham in the first in production teaser trailer for HBO Max's series offshoot of Matt Reeves' Batman on May 23rd. HBO Max is rebranding as Max and Oh, it's rebranding as just Max and includes all of HBO hit series, movies, reality, and more. I don't know why they're doing this shit. The 8 episode Warner Brothers television series drama continues the epic crime saga that filmmaker Matt Reeves began in 2022 with Warner Brothers Pictures' The Batman. I'm kind of disappointed that it's only 8 episodes. It's like this is not Disney Plus, guys. Don't try to be Marvel. Just make a real fucking show. It doesn't have to be a mini series. Just make a show. But it is what it is. They got a story they want to tell, and that's good. They want to tell a cohesive, a contained story that has a clear beginning, middle, and end. And you got to respect that. That's good storytelling. So we can't complain about that. It says the first footage of the series has a dark Sopranos feel to it, with Farrell playing a crime boss. You step out of line even once, I'll gut you like a goddamn fish. The voice in a voiceover, the Penguin says, "You ask yourself, what kind of life do I want? The world isn't built for guys like us. That's why we have to take what's ours." The new Max original series and the new chapter in the Batman saga is now in production and will debut in 2024. The exact date has not yet been revealed. But I'm fucking excited. I think it's gonna be dope. Another show that's coming out that I'm really excited about with HBO Max is Game of Thrones, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. They got a new spinoff coming out that's gonna be based on the what's it called? Well, that is what the book's called. It's called The Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. And it's about Egg and Dunk, little duo in their adventures. But it'll be dope. It's a pretty good book. So but I think it won't be quite the like sex fueled violent, goriness that Game of Thrones is kind of known for. Is not really what that story was really about. I mean, there'll be moments of violence and things, definitely battles and shit. But I don't know. I found it more on the adventure tip, than it's pretty good. It's pretty cool.
It looks good. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun watching it or reading it. I read the books and stuff. There's a cool graphic novel too. That's amazing. And just before we jump on Star Wars, there's some dope hip hop news going on in the world of hip hop. De La Soul says that AOI 3 is definitely happening. So that is if you've been despite the tragic death of co-founder Trugoy, the Dove, this February, it doesn't look like the surviving members of De La Soul will be calling it quits anytime soon. Speaking on the new episode of Kyle Meredith with Maceo, said that he and Posthumous are working on putting out new music, and their highly anticipated album AOI 3 is definitely happening. So AOI 3 would complete the trilogy De La Soul started in 2000 with Artificial Intelligence, Mosaic Thump, and its 2001 successor AOI Bionics. So AOI 3 is definitely going to take precedent. He said
Maybe they got some maybe they already been working on it. Maybe they got some vocals by Trugoy already laid. You never know. I know in Gangstar when DJ Premier put out one of the best yet, he said that the album they did that before Guru passed, but he never put it out. He just said he had the vocals, he just had to rework some stuff. So hopefully this is what the case is. Tribe also has music they did before Phife Dawg died, and they're supposed to put out another album with with all of them. But Q-Tip, I don't know what Q-Tip is doing, but everybody keeps asking for it. He keeps saying it's coming. He's going to do it. He's going to put it. When? I have no idea. All we know is that it's been late, vocals have been laid by Fife Dog. 40 album. We just don't know when we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna get.
Yeah. Well, the Maceo said when they asked about De La Soul's upcoming plans, he said it's going to be the very next thing. That's a responsibility that we have to our fans, a responsibility that we have to ourselves with completing that trilogy, and we have a responsibility to continue on just to sustain Trugoy's legacy and what we've built as three childhood friends, and we have a responsibility to hip hop. And while some of the material on AOI 3 was already in the pipeline long before Trugoy's passing, Maceo added that the album will comprise mostly of newly recorded music. He said a lot of stuff is fresh. He said there's a couple ideas that I'd been sitting on for a while. Nothing had lyrics on it. The stuff I had lyrics on it, we already kind of leaked. It was the return of DST, the Chuck D record, the People, and the
That
other
was
one
yeah,
that was leaked was Getaway. Yeah,
that was dope. Yeah,
with
those were
the
dope.
Wu-Tang, with
Yeah,
the
those were
Wu-Tang
dope.
sample. Yeah.
I thought somebody put those out like you know how guys go on YouTube and they do music and
Yeah.
they'll produce it, make them. I thought it was something like that when I heard it, but
Mhm. Yeah.
apparently it was something that was an official leak.
Yeah.
It wasn't, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. De La Soul's always put out music consistently. There's gaps, but it's always consistent. So like you might get every 2 years, you might get an album, maybe three, but they've always been consistent over the years. There's just the gaps
Yeah.
in between.
Well, they had, this trilogy was a planned thing. I guess they kind of always knew and said it was going to be a trilogy. And
Yeah, they did
so
back in the day. Yeah.
when when Trugoy, because it was 2000 they did the first one, and so they had planned it before he died to do this album. And so they're definitely I think a lot of people were assuming maybe that they wouldn't, or at least people was worried and questioning, like, now that Trugoy just passed, are they going to give us that third one that we've been waiting on? But the news is good. He said those three records pretty much were supposed to be a part of AOI 3. And then there's another record that was done that we haven't released, but I'm going to put it on the record because it holds up. He said it's a song called Rise that we have with Yummy Bingham, and it has a real disco roller skating vibe, and I think that's going to fit really nice. He said Maceo also said fans who have attended his Twitch DJ shows may have already heard Rise, noting that it was produced by Minnesota, by one of the Money Boss players. But it's dope to see Maceo on Twitch spinning and stuff. And shout out to Full Blast Radio and DJ Tiger be on Twitch spinning shit. And it's a dope community, the DJ community. But while you guys are waiting on AOI 3, you can hear De La Soul's entire catalog now, which is now available on streaming, which is a new thing. So you can finally stream De La Soul now. For those of you who do stream
I
your
don't think most people will. They went and bought them all, man.
I know.
Mm. Now I know I already had mine digitized on my computer. I just listened to them at my leisure. But I was just listening to AOI Bionic 1 and 2
Yeah.
about a week ago. And they're dope,
Yeah.
man. They stand the
Yeah.
test of time. They're definitely
Yeah.
timeless classics.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And the legendary Nas and Wu-Tang fucking tour that I wasn't able to see, that my homeboy got to see, and I'm kind of pissed about. But yeah, so they got the North American tour together in September, and so happily I will possibly get the chance to see them. But not only, they've now also tapped in with fellow New York rap legends De La Soul to open. So this is a massive. Fucking Busta Rhymes was at the last show, and I mean, this is crazy. The group, who obviously who Trugoy died at age 54 earlier this year, just played London's Royal Albert Hall, where guests including Yasin Bey, aka Mos Def, and Native Tongues, Drez, filled in for him for Trugoy. And no word yet if there will also be other guests for their support shows or their opening for Wu Tang. But the Nas Wu Tang De La Soul tour includes a hometown New York City show at the Barclays Center on September 27th. But I got a bunch of the dates here. De La Soul were also recently added to the lineup of Pharrell's Something in the Water Festival, also where they are billed among Pharrell's friends, the Pharrell Friends, the PH thing, which is like ASAP Rocky and Busta Rhymes and MIA and others to be, up there. But the dates are of as follows. So Nashville, Tennessee, September 20th, Hollywood, Florida, the 22nd, Jacksonville, the 23rd, Tampa, shout out to the hometown, on the 24th, Washington, D.C. on the 26th, Brooklyn, New York on the 27th, Atlantic City, New Jersey, in your neck of the woods, Stu, on September 29th. Toronto, Ontario, October 1st. Laval, Quebec, October 2nd. Columbus, Ohio, October 4th. Minnesota, October 7th. Chicago, October 8th. Winnipeg, Manitoba, I think it's whatever. Edmonton, Alabama, Calgary, Alberta. I think that is Vancouver. Bunch of Canadian places. October 17th, Portland, Oregon. October 18th, Seattle, Washington. October 21st, Las Vegas, Nevada. And October 22nd, Highland, California. And if you notice, what they did not list was a fucking Virginia location. Okay. Damn it. Damn. Yeah, I guess I got to go to Atlantic City, man. What's up,
That's
Stu?
gonna be nothing in Delaware.
Huh?
Nothing in Delaware. No Delaware show.
No.
No Carolinas. No nothing.
No.
Georgia. Gotta do Georgia.
There's no Georgia. This is all like a northern. They're doing. It's mostly like looks like the
Northeast.
Midwest. They're doing like the
Northeast.
Midwest and down to Vegas and California. They're doing like the Midwest to the West. Northeast, no, not much in the Northeast. They're doing a little bit. They did DC, Brooklyn, and New Jersey. That's it.
Yeah,
Everything else.
That's normal. And Philly, if they ain't do Philly, no, Philly's
Yeah.
normal. Atlantic City's normal.
Usually they
New
do
York,
in
they got to
Norfolk,
do a show in New
Virginia,
York.
and there's usually always something here in Norfolk. There's usually always a Wu-Tang show in Virginia.
There's always something in Delaware too.
Really,
I find that hard to believe. It's nothing in Delaware or DC.
Well, September 29th, if you're down, we can meet up in Atlantic City, New Jersey at the Wu-Tang Nas De La Soul show and broadcast live on YouTube.
Definitely.
I'm with it.
Yeah, definitely hit that.
That would be crazy.
I haven't seen Wu-Tang live long time, bro, since the early 2000s.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen him since 01. Yeah. I haven't seen him perform since I met them in 01. You remember that the Biggie cover with the baby picture? Ready to Die. And everybody thought that was Biggie's baby picture. And because Nas did the baby picture and Wu-Tang, or rather Raekwon and Ghostface, said that shit about him biting Nas's cover. But apparently that was not Biggie's picture at all. It was Puffy and Biggie. He said he just got a kid from a casting call. He said, what he said? He said, I just want people. Oh, so the infant with the face on the cover, Ready to Die, was long unknown, but in 2011, the New York Daily News got to the bottom of it, discovering that the person used for the album art was named Keith Roy Yearwood. The Daily News let the now 30-year-old tell his story, and he said, "I just want people to know that it's me. The truth is finally coming out." He said, "It's an honor to be on this album." End quote. Additionally, Keith Roy Yearwood confirmed the payout for being on the cover, which was a measly $150. Tracked down by Rap Radar a year before Yearwood's interview, 2010. Diddy elaborated on the situation. Old Diddy said the boss and founder of Bad Boy Records said that they found Yearwood from a run-of-the-mill casting call. He said that was just a baby that we just found. We did a little casting for somebody that looked like Big, he said. And yeah, it's funny though. I don't know what the kid wants. Like, what do you want? Like, what do you want? What do you want? You want to get paid or something?
Everybody want that 5 minutes of fame. You want that 15 minutes of fame. Man.
Damn, bro.
You did it. You know you on the cover. We know it now. Let's keep it moving.
Keep it moving. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
It's a timeless album cover. DJ Muggs talked about that. He said when you look at Cypress Hill albums covers, he said that's why you never see them on the covers.
Yeah.
Because he said that he wanted to be timeless. So he said 30, 40, 50, 100 years from now, when you look at one of their albums, he wants you to see the album and it be a cover that you can relate to. You'd be like, yo, that's a dope cover. And he said that's why that's why when he does all of that for them, and he said that's why he never put them on the covers of the albums. It's always been artwork or something else or anything but them. Because he brought up some points. He said you go back, you look at Kool and the Gang, all these guys on there, and then they get old, and then you looking at you're like, whoa, like look. So, and then the fashion at the time, so he said he stays away from all of that. So that was a smart move on Biggie to make an album cover like that, man. Just with a little kid on the front.
Yeah, because it was, and it was smart of Nas too, because like you said, bro, that way they're not wearing out of date fashions. Because like you said, when you go back and look at some of them disco records and shit, and you be seeing some of the shit they be wearing, it's hard to
take it serious. You be like, damn.
Yeah, be like, damn.
How old is this?
Wasn't no manly shit. Man got a unitard on with a unitard with glitter.
That's what they wore back then, man. It was bedazzling before bedazzled.
Remember Dre with the doctor outfit?
Yeah, I remember that. He had on makeup and everything, just like they said.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that era though, Tupac got a new, and I know like another Tupac documentary, right? If you've seen one, you've seen them all. Literally, I think I've literally seen them all. But yeah, he's got a new one coming out about his mother. It wasn't his, but yeah, throughout his life, Pac was outspoken about the relationship with his mother, Afeni Shakur, and how despite their struggles and her impact and influence and political activism, helped him, define his sense of purpose and whatnot, or throughout her crack addiction and all of that stuff, and his love and appreciation for his mother were famously immortalized in the classic 1995 Billboard hit track "Dear Mama," which is the title of the new 5-part docu-series that examines the life and legacy of Tupac and Afeni Shakur. It's called Dear Mama. It's set to premiere on April 21st on FX and Hulu. Somebody said something. Who is this? Said the director of Dear Mama, Alan Hughes, said this is Tupac's love note to his mother, and the movement, and to any Black woman in the struggle and men in the struggle. End quote. Alan Hughes directed all 3 of Tupac's first singles. Told GMA3 in an interview that aired on Thursday. He said you'll feel like that at the end of this, and really spend time with Tupac and Afeni, and that they're both gone too soon. Jamal Joseph, Tupac Shakur's godfather, told GMA3, and Jamal Joseph is a member of the Panther 21, along with Fanny Shakur. So, was a group of 21 Black Panther Party activists who were charged back in 1969 in connection with an alleged conspiracy to bomb police stations in New York City. And they were acquitted in 1971 after revelations that police infiltrators played a role in the conspiracy. And Afeni spent 2 years in prison before she was acquitted in 1971. So I mean, it's deep. When you think about the shit Tupac talks about and the stuff in his music, he's not just making up shit. He's not just like saying shit that he saw in a movie. Like that's his life. Like that's his
Nah,
mom life.
he keeping it
You
real.
know,
Yeah, that was his life.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the Panther 21 was a real, that was the Black Panther, a real Black Panther fucking faction that, got, had a big trial, a big 21 defendants in a court trial, a conspiracy case. And the mothers of slain rappers talk about grief, trauma, and my mother taught me to analyze society and not be quiet. If there's something on my mind, speak it, because my mother was a Black Panther and she was really involved in the movement. Tupac said, in his interview when he was 17, which you guys have probably seen that when he's a kid, uh, doing that little interview, which is definitely featured in most of his documentaries and will be featured in Dear Mama. So Tupac, who is one of the most celebrated hip hop artists of all time, was shot on September 7th, 1996 in Vegas, died in the hospital 6 days later when he was just 25 years old. That's crazy when you think about how young Tupac was actually 25. It's crazy to think about now. I'm 43. I was 16, I think, when he died. 17, maybe, something like that. And I'm
Yeah,
43 years old. And I think he was
I'm
a kid,
almost
bro.
his age. I think Pac is. I think me and Pac are the same age. He would have been 50 by now.
Yeah, I think he was born in like 71. Yeah. So, yeah. He
He's a year older than me. Yeah,
yeah.
because in the song, crazy. June 1,
Mhm.
671, the day. Mama
Hey,
pushed me out of the room, told me, get
get
paid.
paid.
No one can understand me.
That's my joint.
Black sheep outcasted from my
My
family. Yeah,
family.
yeah,
Yeah.
June, yeah. It's June 16th.
Mhm.
Yeah, because he's a year older than me. So I was
Yeah.
24 when he passed, man. I
June
was
1,
24.
671. But yeah,
Did you know that?
and
Did you know that? Matter of fact, I just found out a little tidbit that I didn't even know about Pac, man. That the movie Baby Boy was written for Pac, and that Singleton wrote that joint for Pac,
yeah.
and they were going to do it, but Pac died before they could even before they can before they can even get it off the ground. As a matter of
Mhm.
fact, they said that Tyrese was quoted as saying that it was so early in development that literally they only had the script written. That was all they had, the story and the script.
Mhm.
He approached Pac, told him, and he said that you inspired me to write this. And the movie was actually supposed to be about him being raised by a single mom, this, that, the other. And
Yeah.
Pac was with it. Pac was like, yeah, we could do that.
Mhm.
And of course, Pac died, and John Singleton
Right.
put it on the shelf and then took it off the shelf and got Tyrese to play the role. They rewrote some things and did some other things, and it
And
actually
still made a great movie. It's
it
still a
still made a great
brilliant
movie.
film.
Yeah, it
I
still was a
love that
brilliant
movie.
film.
Yeah, I
But I
still love
always
that movie.
wonder how it would have turned out, if he would,
Of
if
course.
Pac would have did it, man. Like
Bro,
that's my
I think about how Menace to Society would have been if Sharif would have been played by Pac. Because
I
Sharif's the
know,
one character that I felt the actor did not fit that movie.
I
Think
know,
about that shit, bro.
I know, I know. But Pac died too early, man. It's just he was just literally entering his Hollywood phase that all singers, rappers, whatever, musicians in them they go through. They do
But
their
see,
music
Pac,
thing and then they get to their
but Pac
Hollywood
was
thing.
the actor first, though. That's what's
Yes, he
crazy.
was. Yeah, he went to acting school and
He was
everything. Yeah,
already
he
an
did.
actor. Yeah, he was an actor
Yeah, he already
first.
had
Music was
skills.
the
Yeah,
second thing, right? That's how he kind of
yeah,
got in with Digital Underground in the first place. Was his sort of acting ability, his outgoing, way he used to fuck around and shit. So people forget that, man. A lot of people think about Pac when he was, in the All Eyes on Me phase and the Death Row phase and all of that, but that was not who he was. That's just something he was doing at the time. And I
His
understand that
pops.
because he's a Gemini like me. And I get that, bro. Sometimes we just play roles and we just live lives that it's not really us, but it's just something, man. It's just something about it, man. But
Yeah,
Tupac, man,
powerful individual, man. I miss Pop, man. You know, I really do. Really
yeah,
miss him.
bro. It's like one of those things where it's like I think he'd be a fucking politician by now, dude. Like I think he would be something crazy right now. And it's like Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee and certain figures that died when they were young. You wonder about who they would be now and like what the world would even be like if they had lived. Malcolm X,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy, man.
yeah, Martin
It's crazy
Luther.
to think about.
Yeah, the
And,
Kennedys. The
that's why
Kennedy
people think
brothers.
that these people are killed because that's why these conspiracy theories are done because people cannot believe that somebody that incredible just died happenstance. Like, nah, bro. Somebody wanted him dead. Like, cause that's just, it's the way the brain thinks, it's the way human mind thinks. So we automatically go there, whether it's the case or not. It is what it is, but human nature. Oh, so Jada Kiss. Shout out to Jada Kiss and the whole versus Jim Jones and that shit was going on. But but Jada fires up uh with uh the new solo albums. He's got two joints coming out this year. So we real happy about that. We're super happy about that. It's he was stopping by Sway's Universe, I think it was on April, and he revealed that in addition to his many other endeavors that he's got going on right now, including the new podcast, where he was there to promote. He'll be releasing music at a high clip this year. He said, "I'm still the samurai." He said, "I'm gonna drop two projects this year, maybe three, a Locks joint and definitely two Kiss joints. Fulfill my Def Jam contract, and then do some other lucrative businesses that's mainly beneficial for me. I think that's what it's about." End quote. So that's dope news.
That's
We
real
had
dope news coming from him,
yeah.
especially the locks, man. It's been a while since they dropped the joint. Sheik just dropped
Oh
one
yeah.
single the other day called Barbershop Talk, and that was dope.
Right.
But it's been a while since
Yeah,
they
man.
collaboratively got together and did something. Styles P said he's retired from solo albums. If it ain't a locks joint, he ain't doing it. So I don't know. Maybe that'll bring him out of retirement.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, that's crazy because Styles P was always one of my favorite. I liked his
everybody
solo
says
joints.
that.
I like
Yeah,
his
everybody
solo
says
joints.
that.
His solo joints are dope. He
Everybody.
got a dope sound, man. His voice got a dope sound to it. And also fans might get to see Jada Kiss and the Locks on the Versus stage again sometime soon because he recently accepted Jim Jones's foolish offer for a rematch between Dipset and the Locks. Oh man, he's the glutton for punishment, Jim Jones. But yeah, he said I would love to run it back. You know what I mean? Kiss said in response, "Why not? For sure, of course. Yeah, I'll take some more props." His comments come
Um,
after Jones threw down the gauntlet and in an interview with All Hip Hop last month, saying that he wants the potential rematch to be held inside New York's Madison Square Garden proper. Capo also admitted that Dipset weren't fully prepared for their initial battle against Jada Kiss, Styles P, and Sheik Luch in August 2021, which saw the Yonkers trio beat his Harlem crew to a bloody pulp in bruising fashion. However, he's confident that the outcome will be very different this time. He said, "I don't think that the energy will ever be duplicated outside of New York unless we go for the rematch. You heard last time there was a lot going on. The venue was way too small. There were people on my back. There were people on people's shoulders in there. I think we need proper respect of doing it in the garden, the big garden with proper security set up right so everybody have breathing room and not using as no excuse, but we need a rematch for the city. I'm putting it out there like Rocky after he lost to Apollo Creed, and we're gonna be like hot spaghetti." End quote. I don't
And
know,
it would
Jim.
be
That sounds like some
it'd be more like Apollo Creed when Rocky.
Apollo Creed when the Russian beat his ass. That's what it's gonna be like.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because remember
but
when Apollo lost, he was talking trash. He ain't beat me, and then that's when they came out Rocky too.
yeah, yeah,
But you got remember, Rena, those are two of the hoodest, hardest, non-commercial groups in hip hop that have seen success with
yeah,
not selling out. Like you
yeah.
gotta take your hat off to them for that period. They
Definitely.
never sold out. They never went R&B. They
No,
never
I fuck
went,
with I fuck with both
and
the
they
Lock and Jim
right,
Jones. Or
and they got hits,
and
bro. They yeah. Street wise, they got a buzz. They always had a buzz, man. In the streets,
no
man.
doubt.
Jadakiss and them say it
Absolutely.
all the time. Like they for the streets, man. Those two groups right there, strictly for the streets, man. They'll sell out. They'll sell out of Madison Square Garden. I believe
Yeah.
that. I believe that wholeheartedly that they'll sell that out without even
Oh
trying.
yeah. Oh hell yeah. Ain't no question, man. Ain't no question about it. Let's get into this Star Wars shit, dog. There's a lot of Star Wars shit to get into. And I think y'all ready. I think y'all ready. Let's get into it. Stu, I know you probably gotta bounce in a minute, but we gotta chop this up. Couple
Yeah.
things going on. Mandalorian season 3 has been a little bit divisive. Um, there is talk of an Andor film. There is confirmation of a Mandalorian film, and now Kathleen Kennedy is coming full steam ahead with the women power train, and
Mm,
we're getting a new Ray film. We're
mm.
getting the Acolyte is just all female power. Um Mandalorian is now the Bo-Katan show.
I've seen
And
that.
basically, and listen, they're not even listen. Listen, they're not. It's not. This is not a misogynist viewpoint or none of that. They have actually said this. I'm just telling you what Kathleen Kennedy has said. She was like, "There's balance in the force now. We're gonna do more female, women centric
Yeah, yeah. I
project."
don't know who wants that. I don't know who wants that besides her. I really
Scary,
don't,
bro.
bro.
I don't
It,
understand.
it, it's gonna kill. It's gonna kill the Star Wars vibe, man. She's gonna accomplish her goal to kill the Star Wars vibe.
I don't know what
It's
she
just
thinks.
gonna chase. It's gonna chase people away. You know, they're gonna be turned up. Like we don't have a problem with women or female characters or anything like that. But
No.
when you start making it girl power, and you start, dissing the males and bashing them and putting them under the feet, like that's
Yeah,
never
like girl
happened when the
power is
roles are
cool, but
reversed.
girl
Right?
power
It's
is
never
cool
happened.
next
Right.
to the guy, but you don't have to
But
shit on the guy. You
feminism,
don't have to
that's the
demasculate
difference.
the man. Look what they did to Luke.
Feminism,
It's cool.
yeah. Girl power is cool, Reno, but feminism we don't want. We don't want feminism. That's what we don't want.
Well, I just don't want
It
politics
doesn't have a
in my yeah,
but
I
that
don't
is
want
that's feminism. That's what
yeah, I
feminism.
know.
That's what
Yeah.
feminism.
I don't want
Yeah, and we
current
don't want
politics.
that. Yeah, there's no room for that in Star Wars. There's no room for feminism in Star Wars. Period. It's going to turn
No.
off the audience. It's going to make people not want to watch Star Wars. And then Disney's going to say, well, it's not doing well. They're going to give it the boot.
And they
And
will
she wouldn't
come
have
at you
accomplished her
and they
goal.
will come at you and they will say that you're being misogynist or that you're being sexist. And no, I'm not being sexist. I'm just saying it doesn't have to be all women all the time. Like that's what they're talking about. They're talking about making all the lead characters, all the males, or rather all the villains and all the heroes, all are women. Only the side characters and the the so basically they're trying to role reverse what in their mind has been the male, the patriarchy that has like kept their boot on the neck of women, and that's in their mind the way that it's been, and they want to flip it on you, and they're gonna make the men be the side characters, and which they feel like the women character have always been marginalized. But no, not in Star Wars, man. Star Wars has always had strong female characters. They've always been respected. They were never treated as fucking side characters or fucking nothing people. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like so, and the same thing with Marvel. They want to overdo it, and it's like there's always been extremely strong female roles and characters in both of these franchises. So you're just, it's just channel it, man. Aim it where it needs to be. Go find something that doesn't have strong male or female roles and shit like that and put them there. Or just make up your own new shit. But don't try to smash, this thing that's been around and has already had plenty of female roles, and just try to make it something and act like there's a problem that isn't there, and build a solution that for a problem that doesn't exist. It's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I just feel like they're doing too much where it doesn't need to be done. But besides all of that, besides the politics and all of that, there's some cool shit going down, man. There's some stuff that I am really excited about with Star Wars. The Ahsoka show, for one, I think looks cool as fuck. I can't wait. Ahsoka's a female character that's always been in Star Wars. Look at Ahsoka. You didn't, Kathleen Kennedy and family. You created Rey and all of that, but you didn't create Bo-Katan. You didn't create
No,
Princess Leia. You didn't
no.
create, bro. You didn't create none of them strong female characters that already Ahsoka, Sabine. Come on, bro. Nope, it's false, bro. It's false and it's performative. And you're right, it's pushing people away, and it's stupid. Ray Stevenson sort of gives insight into, and I want to talk about this too, because we're gonna bust this up, because Ahsoka, the trailers and everything look dope. And I just want to talk about some of the dope shit and some of the cool stuff that's going on in Star Wars, man. And some of it looks really cool. For instance, these dark Jedi characters that are in Ahsoka. Ray Stevenson, the guy that played the Punisher in the only good Punisher film that we ever got. Ray Stevenson, he's got a ton of mysteries surrounding his Ahsoka villain is named Babylon. And Ahsoka will feature the return of numerous characters, of course, including Ahsoka, the Ghost crew from Rebels, Grand Admiral Thrawn. Bro, I'm telling y'all, Morgan Elsbeth, Ray Stevenson's Babylon Skull is his name, Babylon Skull, and Ivana Sakano's is the actress playing his sidekick, or his apprentice rather, named Shin Hati. And they're both new characters. They're both force wielders, and they're both on the darker side, but they do not have red lightsabers. They have orange lightsabers. And a lot of people didn't pick up on this subtlety. They just thought it was, the coloration of their TV or whatever. But no, these are importantly, specifically orange lightsabers, not red, miscolored. And Ray Stevenson said after one of these Star Wars celebrations at the Ahsoka panel, basically some of the mysteries surrounding his and his apprentice's characters, he evades details about the orange lightsaber, but he describes his character as a catalyst which will lead to an effervescent spectacle, whatever that means. So his breakdown,
because I know an orange lightsaber. I read a thing once, because I know when Ahsoka's turned white, that means something. I forget what that. I mean, that's something with disconnecting from the Force or something like that. Orange, I know, is like a balance. It's like a balance, and gold has another. Because at the end of that last Star Wars movie that everybody hates, Rey's was gold or something like that. Like when she pulled it out,
well, they have a yellow. Color. Yeah, they have the yellow.
Yeah, yellow. That's what it is. Yeah, yellow.
That's for the Consulars or the Sentinels.
Now remember, if you watch
Jedi Sentinels, yeah.
What's the trailer for the game? New Republic, Old Republic, whatever it is. The two guys, one wore black, one wore white. They had yellow lightsabers.
They had yellow.
One of them had a yellow one, and I think one had a white, or the dad had a white. But I do know they change color due to your connection with the Force. I know that. That's why Mace's is like purple or something like that. But there's whole nother story. He asked for that. Like he wanted to have something different than everybody else.
Yeah, and that's why Mace he sort of rides the balance of the dark side. Like he rides the line. Like he fucks with the dark side a little bit, and in his fighting style, he sort of channels the dark side a little bit, and he gets, and so that's why his saber is a mix between blue and red, which is purple, which is the light and dark side. That's how he
Right.
made it up. But this is sort of like that. But the orange, well, there's a whole thing from Legends canon, and you can look up what all the colors of all the lightsabers mean. You can Google it.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah, you
whole
can.
thing.
Yeah,
And it's all from Legends canon. It's all from the books. None of this shit is in the movies or any of that yet. So I love that they're doing this.
it's what
I
Kathleen
love.
Kennedy said. Remember, she said, Reno, that the
She
book
said
stuff
that the books
it don't
is
matter.
not part of canon because Luke is a is a strong character that restarted the Jedi, um the Jedi Order and all of that. And what they're doing now, and her plan was to have Rey, this female character, be the new Luke, and that's who's gonna restart the Jedi. They've got her doing the new. She's gonna reform the Jedi Order or something. How can she do that? She's not a fucking Jedi. How could she be a Jedi? Rey's not a Jedi. She was not trained by a Jedi. She had no training. She's just a fucking. It's a joke, bro. It's a joke. It's a Disney character. Give me a fucking break here. But anyway, so Rex
Maybe they'll
Stevenson,
bring Luke back as a ghost and drinking
man,
Walrus
they
Tail milk,
can't redeem
and
that
then
shit, bro. They can't redeem themselves, bro. The only way they
he'll
can
come
redeem
back.
themselves is to completely act like that shit didn't happen. The only way Star Wars can be redeemed is if they act like the sequel trilogy didn't happen, which they're not doing. Mandalorian's all leading up to it. All these shows are leading up to the First Order, Moff Gideon, and all of that in this new Mandalorian. That's all leading up to the First Order, the cloning, Snoke, the whole thing. That's where it's all heading. So they're definitely going with the whole Ryan Johnson, JJ Abrams atrocity of a ridiculousness. That's a story that just it, it's more of just a movie to make a movie's sake. It had nothing to do with like Star Wars or like the story or the lore of Star Wars. Like if you're trying to follow along like the 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 galaxy of Star Wars or whatever, the train stopped. Like you got off. Like that shit. The sequel trilogy, bro, it fooled us at first. We were
It
fooled
did.
at
It
first.
did.
We thought it was great at first. We were like, oh shit. I was in the theater. I'm not gonna fucking lie. Force Awakens, bro. I was like, this is the shit, bro. I couldn't stand it, bro. It's like this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. It really fucked with you at first because it gives you all bro. It's like a fucking McDonald's French fry, bro. It gives you it's got ingredients of addictiveness. It's Disney. They're giving you. It's like McDonald's food has no nutritional value, does nothing for you. You know what a good burger looks like. You know what a good French fry with potato in it. You know what that shit with skin on the. You know what that looks like. But this McDonald's shit, you can tell it's fake, it's bullshit. But for some reason, if they fucking offer you that or the other one, you're gonna take that McDonald's because it's got that addictive flavor. It's got that addictive smell. It's got chemicals and shit, but it's totally fucking false and hollow. And that's what Star Wars became when Disney got a hold of it. Okay, it became corporatized. They're just giving you the ingredients that they know are gonna reel you in, and there's nothing inside. There's no substance. There's no nutritional value. There's no story.
Yeah,
And
they've done dirty last couple of years, man.
but race
We haven't gotten anything. Mandalorian's been the best thing we got besides Andor.
well,
That
and
that
now that's
truly felt like Star Wars.
yeah. Well, now that's in jeopardy. Okay, now that's in jeopardy.
Andor?
Mandalorian.
Andor's in jeopardy?
No,
Oh
not
yeah, we know.
Andor.
Yeah, Mandalorian's been. Yeah,
Mandalorian is
yeah. You
in
know
jeopardy.
why, Reno? Because
I thought you
you
said
know why
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. Yeah, you know why Mandalorian's been in jeopardy? Because it did so well. Because it gave Star Wars
Yeah,
fans what they asked for. And anytime I notice that we get what we want as fans, they chop it, they cut it, they find a way to disrupt it or whatever, and then they give
yeah,
us, like you said, the filler. They give us the filler and no meat.
exactly, dog. And you know Well, before you go, I know you got to go. I want to get it. I want to get what Ray Stevenson said because I started this about the orange lightsabers. So the guy that's playing the Dark Jedi, in the Ahsoka show, he says, he said, when he's asked about the character, he says maybe he's unique, some catalyst that upsets the apple cart, that sparks off and fires, and yet is meandering through a journey that is colliding and causing reactions. These layers for an actor to be given, do we really know yet? It's more about the journey, isn't it? And sometimes he said, and there are sometimes like catalysts, they're thrown into this thing as a catalyst, and the reaction that comes out is an effervescent spectacle. Or then there's another meandering of what's going on, what's their mission, and what are they looking? What are they? Sorry, are they working for them? Not really. What's driving them, and is it excite? What's driving them is the exciting thing about playing this character. It's one, not the other. When you see Babylon actually get to meet Thrawn, you wonder if it's the first time or the last time. What's going on again? Hang on. What's the dynamic here? That's another thing that the fans will discover. Now, all I got out of that was he's going to meet Thrawn, and they may already know each other. The rest of that shit he just said, I really don't know what the hell he's talking about.
I don't either. I was kind of lost for a minute, but
Yeah,
like,
I
yeah, I
think
don't.
he's
It was
trying
real
to
cryptic. It
he's
was real
trying to talk
cryptic.
in circles. Yeah, because he can't say anything
Yeah.
about the show, so he really isn't saying anything. He was just saying a bunch of shit. But basically about the orange lightsaber. One thing that fans know is that Babylon is a fallen Jedi and that Shin is his protege. And there were reports that Shin may have ties to the Night Sisters, which is a powerful magic user clan with connections to the dark side of the Force. And it's possible that the orange lightsabers signify something new, neither Sith nor Jedi, but dark Jedi. And the Ahsoka trailer also seemed to show Babylon in the world between worlds fighting Ahsoka. The world between worlds is a powerful realm that allows those who pass through it to travel through time. And the Rebel show, we had Ezra Bridger saved Ahsoka's life in the final season of Rebels by using this realm. And so Stevenson teases that all is not as it seems with these characters, and a potential connection with the world between worlds could be the perfect setup for an unexpectedly dangerous threat beyond Thrawn in the Ahsoka show. So it is a lot of exciting implications and deep shit going on with this show, man. I'm loving the fact that what Kathleen Kennedy said about Legends and the novels and stuff not being canon or not mattering and all of that. And we've got guys like Dave Filoni and those that are making these shows that are like fuck that, and they're bringing shit out of Legends and they're giving stuff from the novels, and that's you know I don't know. It's funny because I feel like I feel like she don't know. Dude, they have no idea what they're doing. They don't know anything about Star Wars. They wouldn't know if Dave Filoni made up something new or straight up pulled it out of a fucking one of the books. They would have no clue, and that's what's happening. He's acting like he's making up all this shit, but dude, all this shit is right out of Legends, dude. All this stuff is out of the novels. All these characters, and speaking of out of the novels and out of Legends and the comics and all of that, one of the great things that's coming out of Star Wars, at least, and I don't know if it's going to be great because we know how they do. But one of the things that I'm very excited for is they are doing the Dawn of the Jedi. And the Dawn of the Jedi is one of my favorite Star Wars comics. You know what? This shit right here, dog. This shit here. You see these floating pyramids? So these things these things float to like these planets, and it like comes to this planet and it just sits there, and like these people come up and they're like, these people on the planet, and they see this thing floating and they don't know what the fuck it is, and like the force is coming out of it. And you see this guy here with the lightsaber. So these are the original lightsabers, and this is the dawn of the Jedi. This is before they were called Jedi, J-E-D-I. It was J-E-D-A-I-I, right, with an apostrophe in the middle, like Jedi. And that was the original force users were the Jedi. And this is Dawn of the Jedi. This whole comic series tells you how these force users became what we know of as Jedi, and how the Sith, which, by the way, this is the Sith, this guy right here, that's the alien. So Sith isn't actually an alien race. It's not just a type of, like the enemy of the Jedi, like the dark force users. First, it was a race of alien called the Sith. And this particular one here is a Jedi. Sith can be anything. The Sith is just a type of alien. But these guys were adept and became some of the best dark side users. And then some of the other ones that joined them that were other aliens called themselves Sith out of like reverence for the original Sith. And the whole thing, man, it's just, if you like Star Wars lore and you're into that kind of shit, bro, all that shit I just said just made your panties wet. Trust me, bro. This shit right here is mind-blowing for any Star Wars fan. This is the coolest thing. Here you go, right here. You see the way that's spelled? J-E apostrophe D-A-I-I. That's the Jedi. So it's I'm really surprised that Disney's doing this, bro. Especially with what Kathleen Kennedy and all of that said about Legends and all of that. So there's somebody on our side over there, man. There's somebody on our side at Lucasfilm, and I don't know if it's Dave Filoni, because some of the shit that he's doing, I'm a little bit questioning where his loyalty is or what he's up to. But so Dawn of the Jedi is a new movie that's about to drop. Well, not about to drop, but that they're about to make. And they've officially announced it. And with the Logan director, James Mangold, who directed the movie Logan, confirmed as the director. So that's very promising, man. What time do you have to go? What time do you have to leave, Stu?
I should have bugged out already. But how much more? How much more are we gonna do?
I mean, bro, with this Star Wars stuff, I could go for another hour. It's
Yeah,
we can do a part 2. We could catch it. We could continue it on Monday.
Catch it on Monday. Yeah, Monday we can really
All right.
really dig deep.
All right. We can do that. We can do that. Because I know you got to roll. But yeah, so we definitely gonna get back into it, guys, Monday. So part 2 of the Star Wars deep dive. It's a lot more to get into, trust me. Monday, but y'all already know where we're at. Every Monday, every Wednesday, every Saturday, 7 p.m. right here on YouTube. And we'll be in the same place on Monday. All right, I got us set up. All right, y'all, man. Y'all have a good weekend. And may the force be with you. Peace.
Peace.